There's probably a world where Trump got shot and there's a civil war in America right now, and we are not in that.
Upside down, like in Stranger Things.
It could be something like that.
You go upside down and everything's opposite than it is up here.
Definitely. I'm not in the, I wouldn't have been in the mood for Guinness, man. Yeah, I have to be in the mood for Guinness.
I feel like I almost need like a glass that's like an official Guinness glass. Do you enjoy it? Mm-hmm. A little bit of foam at the tab of the foam.
This is a very good call. I can appreciate this. Like I love summer shandy, but it just makes my feet swell every time I drink it.
This is better than that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm hoping this doesn't do the same thing as summer shandy does, but I like this. This is a fun IPA.
Yeah, and I don't know. I guess like it's crazy that it's like a Hawaiian beer. I guess you don't really like think Hawaii would like produce good beer.
Yeah. Twyla, Doug's wife, she likes IPAs and she'd like this. Like her, she's always fun because it's like she doesn't drink a lot of IPAs, but she's always down to do like a pick six just to kind of get a little sample of everything else. So
definitely give her some liquid aloha,
I think that's where I usually drink is with her.
Yeah. Oh, it's good, man. It's good. I usually get it in bottles, but I mean, it's the same, right?
Maybe a little bit cleaner taste out of a bottle than the can, but
a little bit cleaner, I think. But that's fine. I don't know. Mine's like lukewarm right now
or it's better than tap. I'd rather have it out of a bottle or a can than off the tap.
Yeah. I feel like tap is flat most days,
unless they're really big into it and then they make sure their tap is at 32 degrees.
Yeah, I feel like good at what they do. Yeah, that's asking too much.
Yeah.
It's asking too much. It's like asking people to like clean the soda machines at the Taco Bell. It's just not gonna happen. Anyways, you guys want proper 12 or patties tonight? I have 2 Irish whiskeys for the holidays, for the times. So Jeff, you're gonna hate me, but we have too much white in the frame up here, so I'm gonna move this back up here.
I gotcha.
It's fine now.
I'm gonna go with patties because it's like I've never had patties before, so it's like
all the questions.
They just spill out. We have to answer all of them tonight. It's like what we're working on. Patties because he's never had it.
I think I'm gonna do the same.
Pour yourself.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same.
Honestly, I think I'm just gonna stick with the plan here and just go patties as well.
I've never had this one either, so
I don't want to be the only one drinking a different whiskey.
Why not?
Because I'm not that guy.
After this one, I might have that one.
Well, yeah, but me too. I just didn't want to be the one to like open it, crack it open. Because then I just feel like I'm obligated to drink the rest. Especially with Proper 12. Like Proper 12 is McGregor's.
I like the color. It's nice and light.
I like that.
Yeah, I hope you guys like it. This is like a Irish
Good moment to let it cool
classic. It's like kind of everywhere. Like if you're gonna go some.
I thought we were gonna be drinking car bombs over here.
Yeah, right.
I am not 21 anymore.
There's a big part of me that wanted to do like the Monster Guinness shots, just
give me a Moscow Mule,
the Irish cream bombs.
I have them. I have Moscow Mule cups, stuff like that. I have some ginger beer at the house. Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, so patties is like kind of your traditional, like it's just low shelf, mid shelf. I don't even think it's. I picked it up on the bottom shelf at Woodman's, but it's priced at like a mid shelf. Like it's like a $40 bottle.
They probably just ran out of room on the mid shelf.
Or they didn't want to pay for the advertising.
That's kind of what I knew. Yeah, I was like, yeah, this is not a bottom shelf liquor.
Yeah,
there's a lot worse out there. I was gonna buy a Scottish one, but then I was like, that's not gonna be good. If we do that, we might have some words spoken to us.
We might be fighting.
Yeah. Well, my grandpa was there in like the 90s and like the Irish, like, I don't know, when they were still kind of going through like the North-South Civil War stuff. And he said every day he was there was some type of like pipe bomb explosion or like Molotov attack. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he was there for like 2 months or like a month or whatever.
What was he doing over there?
I think he was just like visiting homeland,
Oh, I got you.
Seeing what the fuss is all about on the island out there. I don't know. I've never been to Ireland. I was kind of tracing back my family history the other night because I want to see like if I had any like connection, to royalty or anything like that. And I'm always interested in that stuff, right? So anyway, we go like all the way back to the name Malone, and it like translates to Mal Leon, like, and that's like direct translation is Saint John's follower or follower of Saint John.
Nice.
And our clan used to be the O'Connors, so like the O'Connors were like kind of big, like in Ireland. But the first guy to use like our name was Christian Malone, and it was like a guy, or like after he was canonized, or like I don't know if it was like not sainthood. I don't know if sainthood is the right word, but it was like whenever it got translated, right? It was like it became Christian Malone, and this guy apparently wrote one of the biggest annals, like a record keeping book in Ireland that like told almost the entire story of like how the island, like people's clans worked and everything like that. So I do have some historical relevance, I guess, somewhere in there, but it's like kind of, I guess he was just like a record keeper at like a bishop monastery or something. And like, I guess he wrote like the longest history of the island that they know to date. And that's like the one that everybody references. So
nice.
So, yeah, kind of cool.
Considering that's where most of records are held, like before our church burnt down, like 1737 or 38 or something like that, we had record dating back further beyond that, but then our church burned down at that point in time. So we have records from 1739.
Yeah. I don't know like what I don't know like what it, I don't know how far back he kept it, but yeah, I guess that was like the one everybody references for how Irish history works. So,
it's really
cool.
Impressive. It's very impressive because
like,
it's like to get all the clans to get accurate
like a ledger
timeline about all. It's really good that like the people like really work together to establish this record, so this way they can give the middle finger to England.
Yeah, so that was kind of cool. Something that I just dug into, and yeah, like the family crest goes pretty far back, and like I said, we used to be like part of a different clan, and then like you just kind of have people that separate from it, and then like they claim different names, and but then what the other thing that popped up was like, oh yeah, have you ever seen like Tom Brady before? He's Irish, and it's like, that's cool. Yeah,
blonde hair, blue eyes.
Yeah. But it is what it is. Actually, it's kind of funny because I think Tom Brady also has like royalty kickbacks. Like he used to be part of like the Bredishettes, which is like a really big family in Ireland, and they like owned like 1/10 of the island at some point.
Wow.
So yeah, like the Brady clan, right? Goes all the way back. So I guess I got royalty everywhere, guys. Drink to that, I guess.
Let's get some royalties in there first.
Yeah. Do you guys have any have you guys ever dug into family history too much? I know you probably didn't do like DNA tests or whatever.
Not DNA tests. It's just from what like my
like how far back does your name go?
Well, Vance goes back to like 1100 AD. That's from what the overview
That's
of it all.
far.
And it starts back in Germanic, so it kind of makes sense why I'm a walking around gorilla that have all the stuff like that. It's like warrior tribe and such. But then it's like as the things progress over the centuries, it's like we were just hookers, we were just whores, we fell all over the place, man.
Yeah,
we have lineage in Bohemia, we have lineage in France and in Scotland and Ireland and England. Yeah. So it's like they're all over the place. They just kind of bounced all over. But then again, when you really look how small the area is, it's not that big.
No. It's like if you 4 hours to drive from like Germany to the end of or like the tip of France. You know?
Because when you put it in perspective, like if you drive down 90, the complete length, this would put you in England all the way out into Saudi Arabia for how long our continent is.
Oh, yeah. No, it's like you drive across the state here and you're like, you go through 4 different countries. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? So the scale in the U.S. is just
not
unreal.
hard to be able to jump around. And your heritage is like mostly here in America, isn't it?
I haven't even like looked into it. So
you should look that up.
I don't know.
Kind of cool. See how far back your last name goes.
Right.
Because I don't even know like the year for mine. You said like 1100. It's probably a little bit before that, but it was like we were mainly just on the island. Yeah. So it's like we were not jumping everywhere. It doesn't look like.
Yeah, I gotcha.
But yeah, like
you weren't slave traded.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, right? So like. It sounded like my clan actually had slaves for a long time, so I don't even know. We were one of like the more prominent ones. Yeah, so like that's
joined the Viking raids when they went into Paris or something like that.
I don't know what we did. And then it sounded like maybe that was the separation. Maybe like one side of my family was just like, I'm done with that.
Like that could very well be.
Brad was saying that like one side of his family like struck oil here, like in Wisconsin.
Really?
Yeah, and then like they ditched the other half of the family because they got in like a huge fight. I don't know if it was about it was probably about
but probably about the oil because everybody wants a piece.
Never know. But yeah, so like he's in like the poor half of the family, and there's
like,
another side of his family that's like all billionaires or millionaires.
Really? I didn't know that like there was Wisconsin had a place, an opportunity to produce oil.
Well, limestone like makes it. So somebody must have hit it pretty hard here. There's probably a couple vats of it. We probably got it lying around.
Because there's a lot of oil up there in North Dakota, and unfortunately, my grandpa didn't find any when he was growing up. On
you
his
never
farm.
know, man. Yeah, back in the day, the opportunity was just like there. Like nowadays, when we talk about opportunity, it's like the opportunity to like create content online, but that's not like physical goods, and it doesn't always translate to like money. Right. So like there's opportunity, but it's just not in the same, like, it's not as high reward, I guess, per se.
Media takes a while to generate, to be able to build a following up, to continue to be able to get that type of attention. It's incredible, but it's like
but so is hitting gold or hitting like oil or gold or something like that too, you know. Like you have to go mine it. Potentially mine for 100 times without hitting it, and then one day you do, and it pays off. You know, so maybe that happens with a viral video, guys.
St. Patty's Day episode.
B tier pod.
It's very soft. It's very subtle.
Yeah.
Now I'm looking over. I'm drinking whiskey, and there's a cigar
chart.
Like, you know, it's like this would actually pair pretty well with a nice one.
Yeah, I was not thinking that at all. I was like, oh, you're just thinking about cigars.
Yeah. This is a nice little find, because you normally can't find these unless you're on like Pinterest or Amazon, stuff like that. But it's like this is a really good way of just kind of like a quick introduction to cigars, especially like having the breakdown of the foot, the body, the head, the shoulders, and the barrel, the entire thing. It's like there's a lot of logic in me, but I wouldn't be able to determine like what everything, where it originated from. Like tuck, never even heard of that. You know, smoking a cigar, that's pretty easy to work through it all. Cutting it's pretty straightforward. But then you get into some of like the binder, the filler, and all the other fun stuff. It's like it really kind of provides you like a layering of the whole process of the like being a biologist, and like whoever figured this all out must have spent years like, how do I layer these leaves to create a good quality product?
Yeah, you gotta like become a botanist for that. It's pretty cool, you know.
So yeah, thank you. This is pretty cool.
Awesome. It's awesome. It's definitely worth like. It'll be good.
This reminds me, like, this would taste good with the Sweet Jane.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot how good this one was, because I know it's
I was
like
expecting like a harsher body.
I thought so with the smell.
It's
like,
a sipper. It's like it's meant for like bar drinking.
Oh yeah,
you can drink a bottle of this, no problem.
But
I'm surprised you guys have never had it. Like I think that's kind of like. I mean, I guess if you don't go to like Irish pubs, like there's no reason. But
yeah,
you got, like go get a good Reuben, pair it with this, like you're gonna have again fish, like or fish and chips, like do something
or
like
just
that.
corned beef and hash, you know.
Dude, I was
like
thinking like
corned beef, you know.
Have you yet to pull off a corned deer venison, like a loin or something like that? That's been on my to-do list.
Bucket list.
I've never tried.
Yeah, there's a nice thing. There's a lot of recipes to be able to do it, and it's not difficult. It's like you just need to put in. I think it's like 48 hours worth of work total, because it's like because most time it's just letting it do its waiting,
like
and then you cook it.
Process. Yeah,
and it's like I've seen people do it. Never had it, but I think it would quite taste really good. I've had pickled tongue. We've had fried tongue.
Yeah.
So it's like
fried tongue.
Yeah. So it's like that'd be fun.
Dooley was supposed to bring corned beef too. Corned beef and cabbage.
Man, that'd be awesome.
And mead. So
what happened?
Well, Andy was supposed to bring a bottle of Tullamore, dude. Like I don't know what happened. I'm upset. Not happy about it. And I'll tell him that. Be like, Dooley.
Yeah.
You missed it.
Just all hop on Snapchat and start snapping him. It's like, dude, we're missing you, bro.
Yeah. That would make him feel really bad. But
we don't want to discourage him because we want him to be able to eventually come back as well.
Yeah, he'll come back. Or he'll be on, I guess, for the first time.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Brad said he had a really fun time on Friday.
That was a fun time.
Yeah. But then I know, like, afterwards, it was just like, we went over to Jana's, chilled and watched Brian Hall, y'all. Wish we got to watch the weather, dude. I was hype. That made my night.
What movie? What was this? A stand-up or something? Or
No, just Brian
just-
Hall, the guy who does like the weather.
The like live tornado chases.
Yeah.
oh, that's what you meant.
Yeah, and they were in
yeah.
like Missouri and like
and
Alabama
we're
and all
in
those
Illinois,
places.
and we're just
Yeah.
sitting there like, come on.
Yeah, we're gonna get here. Meanwhile, like Jaren's windows like flapping open from all the wind, and I'm like paranoid. I'm like, all right, ghost, where are they? You know. And then I made her go shut it. It was kind of funny.
And as I'm thinking today, like I go pick up my neighbor's dog and stuff like that. It's like I just
The
washed
one
my
you tried
truck.
to set on fire?
What's that?
The one you tried to set on fire?
No, the one that got rolled into the fish oil that I cooked a few hours prior.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The one
the
we
one
tried
you
to set on
almost set on
fire.
fire.
Oh yeah, Sadie. Yeah.
You almost set my dog on fire. That's wild, dude.
My neighbor hits me up last night. It's like, hey, you mind go pick her up because they're flying back from Florida today. It's like, yeah, I'll go pick her up. So it's like they told me where it's at. It's like I didn't realize that we had a boarding place and a dog groomer and stuff like that all right there in West Salem. I don't know if it's expensive, but it's like they were charging like $65 a night. So it's like, yeah, because by the time they would have got back, they would have paid for another night. It's like,
Oh, yeah.
heck yeah,
Yeah.
I'll pick her up.
Yeah.
If I don't know if we would have known that they were leaving,
like
it's like
buying a
we
hotel.
yeah,
Your dog.
yeah,
Like
65 bucks
a night.
that's a Motel 6 right there.
Yeah.
But the facility
Like a
looks nice
bad
though.
Motel 6, dude. No.
It's a shady one, yeah.
Yeah. It's one of the ones that
I've stayed at some weird ones around
Honestly,
across
it's
the
not that
Southwest.
bad. Like,
That's the deal that Brad's going to find, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The street light's
that
gonna
makes
be like
sense.
right in the window, and blood stains on the couch. Yeah, it's one of those. Oh my gosh. It will be fun, I think, when Caitlin comes on too, because I guess when they tell stories, they like really bounce off of each other and like.
I'm going to work on it
like,
tomorrow night because we're going to bingo with them.
Are you going to
Yeah,
bingo?
yeah,
I think.
Oh, nice.
We have Caitlin's mom coming over here. We're gonna
Yeah,
work
yeah,
on-
she had working.
We're gonna work
that.
on family stuff.
Yeah, and I get that. But like,
Um,
we're gonna go to bingo, so I'll work on it.
I did text
I'll-
Brad that though. I was
I'll
like,
work on
Brad,
it.
just so you know, like we do have
Mhm.
family stuff coming up. Yeah, I feel like the last month has been bad. But you know, like we'll get through it, and like, it's whatever. Like I don't know what you're supposed to really. It's just crazy. It's just all, it happens so fast.
The idea
Hey,
is just
guys.
to be able to is to not try to walk or like just
Yeah.
face it head on, go through the grieving process, and then move forward because you don't want to mask the situation because if you try to run from it, it's going to catch up with you in months down the road. So it's easier just to go through it. Like I was listening to somebody talk about like his recent loss on social media. He was talking about like where he just basically locked himself into a room, no distraction like a cell phone or a book or video games. He just dealt with
It's just
the energy. Yeah.
Just like
Yeah,
remembering
Patty's-
it. All of it's coming back.
Mhm.
You know.
I was kind of surprised that I haven't had patties either because like all places I've drank
No,
at, but it's like
it's like a sleeper. But if you ask for it, they're gonna have. Everyone's gonna have it. Like, Irish pub is gonna have it. Any Irish pub is gonna have it.
There's just not a lot of them around, you know. But then again, it's like you got to really go to an area.
We
that
need a
has
bar. We need a bar like they have in like we need like a Patty's pub like in Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Get this. Well, so when I was down at Iowa Deer Classic, there was a group that's actually like they've had a parade going on since like 81 down in Des Moines, and it's the St. Patty's Day parade, which was on today. But they're doing giveaways, and so it's like they were to raise money. And I bought a raffle ticket for a trip for two to Ireland. Yeah. So I don't think I won because I only bought one.
They would have
but-
called you. Probably,
yeah. But it was cool. It's like, all right, it's like it was a neat little thing because I know like if you go up to Minneapolis, like
Yeah.
St. Paul's got a huge following up there. They actually have St. Patty's. They have a Irish fest. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it's like it's
We have a pretty big one here. Like we have a huge one here.
for St. Pat. Well,
It's not on St. Patty's Day.
Yeah.
I think it'll be.
but is this part of the
next-
Irish community or is this
It's
like
Irish Fest.
yeah?
But we have like Gaelic Storm comes into town, and I was listening to them all day. I've been
Oh, yeah?
bumping. Yeah, I've been bumping like the Irish tunes all day. I feel like I'm back at home. You know what I mean? back in the island.
channeling the ancestors.
Yeah, I'm channeling the IRA. No, it's great, man. It's like I feel like Ireland would be the one place I would actually make the exception to for my travel ban right now. You know, Like if I could get off the no-fly list, right? Like I'd probably.
Are you actually on it?
I don't know.
Oh, I got you. When I flew.
It's so easy to get on it nowadays.
Oh yeah. Look at Tulsi Gabbard. She managed to get on it.
Yeah, and she's like a vet, dude. So like, yeah, you never know these days. I could be on it. I really could be on it. I have no idea.
Or at least you're looked at with the more careful eye. You know.
I think that's the case everywhere.
If I can get on a plane, you could probably get on.
Yeah, but I think they flag my name every time.
Well,
for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know why. I don't know what I did.
I already got my FBI background check, so I'm good. I'm clear. I'm good to go.
I have an FBI background check too, though.
Really?
Yeah,
Where?
I do. I have one for like a different job that I used to work.
Oh, okay.
Like a while back.
I got you.
And they called me and interviewed me. Then they
Mine
called
was
all my
approved.
friends and interviewed them.
No, actually, see, mine was approved. It's like I was like, you're a good white boy. You're fine.
No, they called like 3 or 4 people that I knew, and they knew. Like, it's crazy, the info that they have.
Yeah.
They knew that in, like, 3rd grade or 4th grade that, like, one of my teachers, like, put me in detention for something. Like, they, like, know that.
Oh, man. Well, I guess.
It's like, yo, like, what?
That permanent record's real, bro.
Yeah. Well, and then, obviously, like, I have my entire background. But, yeah, I didn't even, like, I don't even know. I worked at that job for not that long too, and that's like the sad part. But yeah, they just need to like double check everything, and they were like,
I've had one done working for the jail.
Well, that would make sense.
Right.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for me too.
I think the only thing they did with the place that we currently work is like the
just a regular background.
Yeah, they just did like fingerprint.
Yeah, they
check
like
or something.
plug it in online.
Like that's easy. But they probably like, I don't know, man. When they ran me, they were probably like, oh god, like because you never. That's the thing.
The thing is, like when you have that conversation, they're just looking to see if you're gonna lie about something.
Even our current job has called me like after I got fingerprinted, and they're like, "Oh, is this you with this on your record and this on your record?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's me."
Yeah. Well, that's the thing too. Like I remember, I think I was gonna try to be in like the Navy, like right after high school, right? So like they were asking me like every question, right? And they were like, "Hey, like." And at the time, I just finished up a case. I just finished up a DUI case. Oh, like Jesus, a DWI case.
You were real young.
Yeah, this was right after high school.
Yeah.
I had gotten in trouble at the end of my high school career. So, like, you know, I was like 18. I just turned 18. Tried as an adult, all that stuff. Didn't have to go to court. My lawyer was a beast. Talked down like a possession ticket to like under 13 grams, right? Which is like not what I was holding. So I got kind of lucky there. And it's because I was pretty compliant. Like when the cops like pulled me over, I was like,
"You got me. Yeah.
This is where it is. Like, you're gonna find it eventually. There's no point in trying to like hide, run, whatever." I passed the sobriety test, but I blew like a 0.18 or 0.17. So like that's insane.
There's the Irish in you, buddy. It's like I was sober.
I was sober driving my eyes. But my lawyer got that also talked down because I was under 21, so he got that down to like 0.139, which is like not as bad of a crime as like 0.14 or whatever. So like that was helpful. And then I had a buddy with me who also had weed on him, and then like I was able to get out of that ticket and nobody got caught with that. So like that was kind of nice.
Got charged with, you should say.
Yeah, charged.
Because guys get caught.
We got caught, but like nobody got
I'm
charged.
sure they took it.
Well, nobody got charged, and I didn't get charged with delivery with intent. So that was like honestly.
Also, it was more. It was in more than one bag.
Yeah, well, because he had a bag too, so they thought
that wouldn't matter as long as it's on him.
But he didn't claim it.
Oh, okay.
So it was in my car.
I'm jumping that, friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was in my car, so they just assumed everything is in my car is mine, right? And that's that's honestly what you do as a cop. So I get it. But like as I'm
beating the shit of the other person in the car, like, yep.
Well,
sure.
He got picked up by his dad that night. I went to jail. Yeah. So like, you know, that was
so the cop that stopped you guys was his dad?
No. He called his dad from the cop's phone.
Crying. crying.
I don't know how people work, man. I didn't cry at all. That's all I know.
Yeah.
I was talking to the cop for a while actually afterwards. I was just like, dude, this sucks.
That's a
And,
long.
like,
That's a long ride.
I have school on Monday. Like, you know,
Baby.
hopefully I can get out. Yeah.
My dad already set the tone. If you're spending the night in jail, don't call me.
Yep.
Don't
Yeah.
call me. And it's like, but it was like,
Well, I felt bad, dude. I tried calling my dad at like 4 a.m, didn't get an answer. Like that was my one phone call. And then yeah, like I got out because I was supposed to go to court the next morning, but it was Sunday.
what's the road? So I'm
So-
surprised they keep you until Monday.
They let me go like pretty early Monday morning, and then I called my school. I was like, guys, just so you know, my mom and dad don't know yet, but
You're the first. Yeah.
and then I
you heard it here first.
I walked back to my dad's house, talked to him for like 5 minutes. I was like, I'm gonna try to go get my car, like, cause my car was impounded. And then I go get my car from the tow truck guy, because the tow truck guy drove me to my car, which is like super nice, super
Yeah,
cool.
that's super nice. Yeah.
He didn't charge me at all. He's like, you're way too young for this. I'm so sorry. Like, he was really cool. We talked about like his life for a minute because he said he went through it at some point too, and you know he was younger as well.
Karma.
So,
He wants that good karma coming back.
I wouldn't say everybody's out there for karma, dude. Like
Well, no, I'm just talking that's his good deed.
Yeah,
you know?
and maybe it was, and you know he was like, yeah, like I'll get you to your car, and like don't worry about fees or anything like that. Like I've been through it, and everybody has a DUI around here anyway. You know,
Just
and this
one.
guy's like 35.
Just
you know?
one. What do you mean?
Repeat is crazy.
Oh yeah.
And then yeah, so that was Monday. Yeah, like what was it? They were so adamant about like, dude, you gotta drink so much water to blow under whatever the legal. Because I had to blow absolute zero when I left, so like that's why I couldn't leave Sunday. So like that sucks. But I didn't have to see the judge Monday morning because the judge wasn't in on Monday. So for whatever reason, I got out. But yeah, it was like. Then I went back to the station, picked up like everything that I had left there, and then like, yeah, I just like went to my mom's house. I was like, I'm sorry I'm not at school today. Can you call them and make sure that like they know I'm not dead? And then yeah, I talked to her for like 3-4 hours that morning about like my entire last weekend. I was like, about last night, Mom. No,
Dude, where's my
that was-
car?
Yeah, yeah, it felt like a dude, where's my car, like a movie. Yeah, so that was quite the experience, but like I'm happy I kind of got that knocked out early. Because I remember, so like the court mandated that I had to go to like therapy and all this stuff because they were like, oh, like that's self-destructive behavior and you know whatever. And at least I only had to go to like one session of that, and they said it was optional after that, so I didn't go anymore after that. And then what I ended up doing, I mean, I didn't get suspended from school, so that was like another thing. I thought like they were gonna just like hold me back or like
They
kick
can, as
me
long as
out.
it doesn't happen at school.
Yeah, but I was at a private school at the time,
Oh,
so it's
I
like
forgot about
they can
that.
kind of
You make their own
revoke.
rules.
They can kind of revoke like credits and stuff like that. And granted, I was in AP classes. Like I
he
was
got
like,
a DUI. He's got to take dare again.
dude, I wasn't like a bad
No,
student.
Make
by
him
any
teach
means.
dare.
Yeah.
and take mad classes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
more trigonometry. More trigonometry. So that's what they do to you. They put you in AP math, calculus. Here you go, bud. Yeah, and,
That's why I got the hard classes. I see.
yeah, they just didn't like me. So yeah, we like kind of like got through that with my principal. I had to like get pulled aside one morning. You know, that was kind of fun. And then like the last thing I had to do to kind of like, and obviously it came off my record 8 years after, so that was like 4 years ago now. But I met like some of the coolest people in my DUI class ever. So like, you know, I was 18. All of these guys are like 25, 30, you know, 40, whatever, 50. There was like a 70-year-old in there. Like
That wasn't his first time.
This is like my third DUI.
Yeah,
Just this month.
Yeah. Well, dude, there's a guy in my class. I probably have mentioned it on the pod, but there's a guy in my class who he got picked up Monday morning by the cops driving home from a bar Sunday night, right? Like 2 a.m., whatever, bar time. And he's like going over the bridge from Winona over to like Fairfield or over to like the Trumplow area, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next morning he gets out of jail. His buddy picks him up. He goes to get his car and he gets pulled over again. And he blows like point whatever it was, like 0.1, because he went to a bar with his buddy when he got out of jail.
Celebration beer. Jesus.
So he had 2 back-to-back DUIs
In 2 days.
in 3 days.
3 days.
Jeez, man. They had his number dialed in. Holy
And
cow.
the first thing our DUI professor said, like our guy, he was like, so about 85% of you guys will probably be back in here.
Yeah.
This guy's like, I got one in Wisconsin and one in Minnesota because he got pulled over on the Wisconsin side, and then the second time it was in Minnesota. So he gets double tried. And then,
Bat 1,000.
I get it
man.
because mine was on the Wisconsin-Minnesota border as well, but I got pulled over in Wisconsin.
Yep.
Got revoked in Wisconsin. My license got revoked in Wisconsin first, and then it gets double revoked in Minnesota because Minnesota has a no tolerance policy.
Yeah.
So I had to reinstate in both states to get it back, and the refiling in Wisconsin is pretty fast.
Mhm.
Well, the refiling in Minnesota is absolutely garbage. You have to
It is.
retake tests. They never host them. They have them once every Thursday in like a different county.
That's what I'm working on right now.
Mhm.
Super fun,
And
man.
they have to mail in a payment. You have to
Yes.
mail in a check.
Oh, it's
there's no
trash.
Yeah, there's no
It's trash. It's a Democrat-run state.
Yep.
Like at least we're like a purple state here. Like you never know what you're gonna get. You might get
I at least got weed, all
You
right?
might
They
get a
gave me
pro-
my weed,
you
but-
might get a pro-abortion Republican in Wisconsin, but you're not gonna get that in Minnesota.
When,
Yeah,
when,
so
when you look at this area
just crazy.
geographically wise, it's like there's only all you have is pinch points.
Yeah.
Like we're like
Oh,
if you-
speed traps everywhere.
Oh yeah, and like when I was growing
drug
up,
traps.
and
Really?
when I was over in Iowa and Minnesota, man, they're gravel travel all over the place. You could completely drive from like Iowa to Minneapolis on strictly gravel roads and
yeah.
never see a cop.
What are you guys thinking? Proper 12 or patties again?
I'm feeling pretty good, so I'm gonna continue drinking some water because
Okay.
I still got to drive home.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Talking about DUIs. Probably
Yeah.
trying to get your numbers up.
No,
Dude,
no,
like,
I don't want to get my
these are
numbers up.
rookie
My numbers
over
are
here. You got
good.
0.
Yeah, my number is perfectly.
Those are rookie
You
numbers.
gotta get up on the board, dude.
I don't want to be in the board, man.
Just don't go
This
over
ain't golf.
3. Yeah, don't go over 300. It resets. Okay. Like,
Oh, challenge accepted.
yeah. Do you guys want to do? Like, I'm gonna probably do proper then. Patty's is really sweet too, though.
Mm-hmm.
I knew
Yeah.
that this would probably be more of a banger than this.
Mm.
I kind of went into the day knowing that.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
I've also like since I've been waking up, since I woke up today, I've been drinking. So like,
Oh, I got you. So you feeling pretty?
dude, I've really been listening to like Irish pub music.
You
and
rock and
I
roll,
did.
man.
I've
I
been
was
listening
getting,
to, like
I was getting
Dropkick
chores
Murphys.
done.
like,
Yeah, Flogging Molly,
You know if
Gaelic Storm,
Yeah.
like the Bollards. Yeah.
right. If I didn't have if I didn't have to drive, I'd definitely have
Okay.
another drink. But I have to be an adult, so
Okay.
especially since this episode's coming out, I really don't want to be admitting to something after
Well,
the fact.
Does it have to come out the next day? We didn't know yet. I didn't
I don't
really
know.
do much for the occasion. I feel like so it doesn't have to come out tomorrow or the next day.
Fair, you know.
But we can't just
I think if
post
we
it
had-
in June,
I
like
think
it's
if we had
scheduled date.
had- I think if we had Dooley on, it would be a little different. 'Cause I think
True.
he would have balled out a tad more than we are. Like we're just kind of drinking.
Yeah. Or if we were over at pulling her over too. I mean, I would
He wants to do next week Monday.
next week
We didn't
Monday.
talk to him.
Okay.
That's
Yeah, because
the
I
game.
think
I ran into
he's out east. I think he's out in Pennsylvania.
Today he's hosting at his house.
Oh, it's D&D night. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. He said he's not doing D&D today. He said he's just having people over for corned beef.
Oh, nice.
So I guess like we were all invited to that. I didn't know if you had gotten the text. It doesn't sound like you did.
Yeah, no, I
yeah.
didn't get. It was
He,
no.
he had like.
Well, he knew I was gonna be at the podcast. Be at the pod,
I think
so.
that's what he said to
Yeah.
me too. He's like, "Oh, if you're hosting, you don't have to come." And I was like, "I don't how many people are gonna be there? Like, I'm gonna be hosting at my place. You could probably come here if you don't have that many people.
Well, he's got a Tesla, you know. Like you can literally program the Tesla to come pick me up and take me home.
Yeah, it's like that easy. He can just he doesn't even have to drive.
I mean, that's how we get our random guests.
Yeah. No, so he'll be here next week, Monday.
Sweet.
We kind of made that plan established because he's like, dude, if I'm hosting and you're hosting, let's just like mutually agree to be on the week after. Yes. I was like, yeah, dude, that works. Like, I think we might have 4 on this week, and then duly cancel.
What was in May? It's like I'll be gone for Iowa.
Yeah.
So I'll be gone that Friday, but I'll be back Sunday to record Monday, and then I leave that Tuesday to go to Florida.
Dude, Florida's gonna be so much
Dude,
fun.
we're so looking forward to it. We're ready to go. We got a hotel so close.
What's the band that you're most excited for?
Oh, I'm looking forward to seeing Dorothy's up there too.
Oh, I remember. Yeah, you showed us like a picture of Dorothy once. You remember that, Phil? Phil's like, I remember that. Yeah. 6'1" doll.
The other one will be seeing 3 Days Grace with both the singers. Yeah, so that's pretty excited to see that.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah, I saw them post breakup, and the lead singer that the studio found to replace what's his face.
These are horrible.
The studio replaced them.
It wasn't horrible. Yeah, not like bad ones were
bad.
Yeah,
but when you're saying it's not bad, it's just
it's like Slipknot nowadays. It's like the new
Yeah.
members don't make it bad. It's just not the same.
Yeah, it would be like if
people have left, then people have passed away. You know?
Right.
Like you can't have like Wu-Tang 2.0.
They're trying that. They're trying that.
There is well, even if it's not Wu-Tang, how about that like rap group that you showed?
Oh
me?
yeah, and they're
Clearwater Revival. No.
No, yeah, they're coming out.
CCR.
They're coming out with bangers.
Yeah,
It's like Coach
Creedence
Contra.
Clearwater.
Yeah.
Creedence Clearwater Revival.
Cleveland. Yeah, I can't
Yeah.
Don't even want to. No, what's the rap group that you showed me again?
Coast Contra.
Yeah, Coast Contra.
Yeah.
I think I saw a video because obviously, like when you start talking to everybody else, their AIs or their algos start popping up, right? I start getting ads for lawnmowers. But there was a video that they were rapping on the street with some random DJ that was just like pumping beats, and then they just like showed up, and then they were like, "Dude, these guys could be the new Wu-Tang." Like, that's pretty baller.
Or were they based?
Wu-Tang never dies.
I think they're based out of like Jamaica, like outside of the country.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like
because there's a
or
Jamaican
Coast. I
rapper.
think they're Costa Rica because I think that's where Coast comes from.
Okay.
So it's like Coast Contra, and then I think
but they're like
Where
mostly
did
English.
Contra from?
I don't know, but like they kill it in both English and Spanish. So it's like,
Really?
Yeah.
So there's like 2 rappers that are fluent in both, and it goes pretty hard.
That's pretty cool.
And I know that's always been. I mean, that's cross culture, right? So like when you're talking like,
Well, Snow the Product does it. You know, like
Snow
the
comes
Migos
out
do
with
it.
something,
You know,
the Migos,
I'm
for
breaking the
sure.
rules here. I gotta. If I don't do this now, I'm gonna forget. So I'm just gonna Coast.
Breaking the rules to get like the new
Coast.
the new hot flame from Coast Contra.
Coast Contra. Excuse
Coast
me.
Contra, and they do freestyles,
Oh,
so they
yeah.
just
And-
go, and that I think that would be like the next thing.
Jesus, these guys are pulling 500,000 listeners.
I know
These guys are. That's
good.
impressive.
they're good.
really good. Dude, like
Yeah.
me, Kato, when he was still here, and Jay, my old roommate, we used to do like freestyles, right? And I wanted to, and it never implemented, and I wish I would have. But I wanted to do like kind of a news format, but like in freestyle form, because we were all like really good at freestyling. That's like one thing that we all do. I mean, I do it the worst of the 3, but I bring in vibe, right?
Yeah.
So like
or chorus even like something.
Yeah.
You know, or
So,
even the beats. Like I'm sure you were like.
I was the beat producer
See,
for a lot of the
like,
stuff that we
right.
make.
These guys have been around for
Or
a
at
minute. They've
least-
been around
oh,
since
yeah.
2015.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they've been
So, yeah.
around. It's just
Yeah.
I've just recently found them.
Yeah, but you know, and it
There's
takes time to blow
there's also
up.
a new rapper that I need to show you
Okay, after the show,
after
maybe?
probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Yeah, because we don't want to be taken down.
Well, he's a clean rapper.
Oh no, we're talking about like on if we do
I
on
mean-
YouTube, they'll take it down.
I could recommend a new rapper. I don't see how they could.
They would take that down, but no. That said, like just after, I'm saying after podcast
Oh,
of
yeah,
time.
yeah,
time
yeah,
constraints.
yeah.
Oh, we got you. Well, see, we've done like there's been a couple episodes we weren't dosed. we brought on music and
we
YouTube
just
would take it down.
Can't play the music.
yeah.
Well, unless we
because
go,
of
we do
copyright.
not own the rights to this music.
We got
you know
copyrighted
what I mean?
for that guitarist that we
Yeah,
were
but even though
showing,
they're
Pentella, and
yeah,
like all those guys.
those guys were awesome. And the thing is, like,
shred, man. The
but
shred
it
is
was
so
for use
real.
though. Their whole
Yeah.
the worst part is like they say on their YouTube profile free
Free
use.
use,
We're using
and then,
YouTube on
yeah.
YouTube, and they just got
And then they
pissy.
still got mad.
Oh man,
But that was our first strike, and then I think we got strikes for other things.
yeah. We got E-word mentioned, and then
you can't mention
Wisconsin.
the E word.
Yeah, the
and then
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin Supreme Court you can't mention either.
Yeah, yep. And then also
Which, by the way, vote April
adrenochrome.
1st, but
Yep.
yo, that one was that was our last flag.
Yeah, that was our last
That
flag.
was our fourth
Yeah.
in the coffin. It was a video that had 20 views on it.
Wow, a whole 20 people.
Yeah, I know, right? It was insane.
Send it to the masses.
Yep, gotta get it out. Can't talk about it.
It's crazy. It's like you only had
Can
20
we bring
views.
it up
It's like
here,
we're
or
gonna
is-
take it down.
Or
So-
is that a flag? Did we just get flagged? Because we just brought it up.
We're not live. Anyways, I told that to my uncle that like, cause he asked me if, hey, are you guys still doing that like Dosed After Dark? He like remembered. It was
Nice.
kind of crazy. Like, you know,
No, we're doing B tier.
well, that's what I said. I was like, okay, so you remember, because, you know, like a lot of I don't even call them normies anymore. Honestly, there's just a lot of people who are like not in tune with everything going on in the world, right? So like they don't know that like things get banned that easily, right? When you have 20 views, short form content, and you're getting canceled for it. It's absolutely insane. Like we had under 1,000 subs, and the fact that our YouTube channel got banned for things that we were talking about is so like algorithmically picked up that like that's happening to a bunch of different channels. But people who are kind of not in tune with like how YouTube works are like, oh, you guys never really got big, so how could you ever get big enough to get canceled? You know, and I understand that sentiment
It's
completely.
the topics. It's
So,
how we're gonna fit into the algorithm.
aunt,
like with these
my
topics, we
uncle-
would have fit right in and would have blew up if we would have been allowed to
Yeah,
use these topics.
no doubt at all.
But
But
Yeah.
but they're gonna go. Oh,
But,
there's a flag.
like
it's like
her
it's
aunt,
like
my
it's
uncle,
like the refs
people
with
who
the
are-
Chiefs. It's the
Yeah.
flag.
Yeah,
Flag.
it's a flag on the play. You can't play. Like we're gonna reverse the whole play. Like no matter what you do here, you're back to square one, right? You're restarting the
Flag.
pod.
Like,
But like her aunt, my uncle, it's like people who are kind of in tune with politics, but they're not quite like, you know, they still work a lot. They run their own business. They don't really have time
Yeah,
to pay
yeah,
attention. And I don't ever fault anybody for that. But like, you know, they're asking us now if we're running like our old channel. Because like now the news is interesting, right? And it is. Like the more stuff has happened the last like 2 years and it hasn't, right? And that's kind of like you build in the bear season, right? You always build in like the off season. So in between political cycles. there's
Well, if
always
if
time
you're a
to
Vikings
build.
fan, you're always building.
Yeah, I hope you are.
they're
You
doing
have to
well
build
right
a
now.
team.
Right.
Yeah.
284 million since last week in off
Lots
season.
of money.
You build in the off season. That's
Lots
all
of
I know.
money.
Yeah, that's all I know. So, you know, like they're asking about like, oh, like are you guys still doing that news podcast? And it's like, well, now we're literally just talking about nothing. Right now we just yap, and like you know, we can. Luckily, we're like good at podcasting,
Yeah.
so we can kind of
You
just
two are
do
good
it.
at podcast.
You're good.
Yeah.
You're great at podcasting.
Oh,
You
yeah.
don't even know it.
That's
there's
the upside
very
about like
few
working with us. It's
and
like your
far
master
between
class.
pe-
You're
yeah.
you're literally
You're
going
great
through a
at it.
master class. It's like we're just
Thank you, Sensei.
If you start doing that, dude, that's
we
not
should,
upward
we should call
spiral.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Thank you, my Jesus. My B tier Jesus.
No. It's like because now that we're just like yapping and we're talking about like entertainment podcast stuff. We're
Yep.
talking about like random stuff. We're talking about like like you know whatever like
Movies,
hat
music,
questions, music,
whiskey,
music,
cigars, you know.
entertainment. Yeah,
Question out of
whatever.
the hat, you know.
Yeah, and now that we're just doing that, people are like, oh, you guys are just doing that now. And it's like, well, we got banned for everything else, but
Yeah.
it was things that we knew about 10 plus years ago. And like, you guys are kind of just catching up to like what we were 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And it doesn't, like, you know, it's hard to relate now because we're so far past. Like, we've already looked at the human trafficking maps. You know what I mean? Like, it's like hard to bring that up at
And the
Thanksgiving
fluoride
dinner.
things, it's like we're already
Yeah.
past
it's
that
hard
now.
to bring it up at
Aliens,
Thanksgiving
whatever,
dinner.
like-
But this
Yeah.
is something that like people who have kind of just woken up to it and like mainly in 2020, and then like it takes a couple years.
Yeah.
They're kind of just asking the questions that we had 2015, maybe 2010, like kind of pretty far back.
For sure.
Before you ask that,
I'm not gonna ask you. I'm just picking.
I don't like the push. I feel like I'm getting challenged right now.
We're setting good in time.
No, I believe it, but I was gonna ask a question, and
Ask it.
I had my palm raised like this a little bit ago, and nobody probably noticed.
What are we looking at here?
I'm looking at my palm.
Okay.
Do you guys believe in palm readings?
No.
Mm-hmm. I've never had it done. I don't know.
You never had it done, and you just straight up know.
No, I've seen like ways to when you look at all the different things and like
You have the same lines I do.
Yeah, and it's like when you look at some of the lines, it's like I really can't equate anything to, because it's like everything is subjective. So it's like I could walk down those stairs and break my knee, and it's like my next 8-12 months are done. So it's like it's so subjective, and it's like you can't really base it off of that. So it's like I take it like a grain of salt.
Yeah. You're like, I could die on the way to work today, so I don't,
Yeah, it won't dictate how I look at the next 10, 15 minutes next to the 10, 15 years.
Yeah. How about you, Phil? Like, do you have any opinion on that?
I guess I don't know, because I've never like actually like sat down or even like had like my psychic or like my hand or whatever read. Like,
yeah. No psychic, no medium, no nothing. How about you? Have you had a medium tell you anything?
No. I followed
like
Houdini's wife, and
like that one. I don't know if I would believe.
Yeah.
And usually, look, if you really want to dig into it, so when Houdini died, his wife went on this like she went transcontinental. She went all over the place looking for somebody to put her in touch with her husband, and she realized that dude was just a scam. And but the thing is, like the darker side of it is that these people may be able to channel something, but it's always a demon, or it's not always good information. It's only there's always somebody out in the outskirts trying to pull the.
So
is it on a trip with Aaron Rodgers out drinking ayahuasca? Yeah, I'm believing every word you're telling me.
Oh, dude,
this is ayahuasca is completely different.
I've seen him in the crowd at your games, Aaron Rodgers. Yeah,
he might be the next QB.
Yeah.
It seems like. So did you recently have your palm read? Is that what you're getting to?
I was like 7 last time I got it read.
Do you believe it?
I think no, I didn't believe it at all. But I also wouldn't be so like I'm kind of under the impression now, right? Like I feel like my worldview has like significantly changed over the last like 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, you name it. Where I think almost a lot of stuff is like, yes, some stuff is genetic, some stuff is like predetermined, but I think stuff that like is ingrained in like the universe code is like there. So there's like not really anything that you can like work around it. It's like you kind of are in this parameter, right? And I don't want to get like too like number heavy or anything like that, but like, when you start coding a lot more, you like kind of realize that there's just like things set in the universe.
Oh yeah, numerology. It's so we live in the matrix, and everything is in binary code. We just don't see it.
Yes,
but for us that have experience with coding or have pierced the veil, we recognize the value of a number.
For people at home, like I don't know, Phil, have you dug into like numerology, anything like that? So like a lot of stuff is just like information. It's just like how you perceive information. Yeah. Right. I used to not think magic was real, right? And I think that's something that I was completely naive on.
Are you talking about illusion magic, or are you talking like somebody to be able to go and to be able to create fire in their hand?
Turn water into wine.
Ah.
I think.
When did you talk to Jesus?
Right. No, I just use that as like the top of the head example of some Reddit thing, probably. Some like Redditor in me was like, oh yeah,
walk
you should
on
say
water.
that. Yeah, walk on water. Yeah, everybody's seen that. No, it's like no, I think like magic is pretty real. The more that I kind of look at like how names are pronounced and how things are like said and how things are
spells.
casted, right?
Yeah, you're
like
talking about spells, yeah.
You say somebody's name and it means something.
Beetlejuice. I mean,
Yeah, like Philip, right?
Candyman.
And
Candyman.
that's why you don't like have people use weak nicknames on
Mary.
you, because they're casting you every time they call for you,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So like I think that stuff I was completely naive to at some point, and I'm coming around to that. I also think a lot of stuff, if you have like spirituality, you have some type of like forgiveness in your soul, I think you can actually get through the astral plane a lot quicker, a lot faster.
Mhm.
I think you can also see like the demons without them hopefully not penetrating you, because that is scary. But you know, it's just like I think things like outside of the consciousness, or things that are inside of consciousness but outside of the body, are very real.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for the longest time, I think I was just like more naive to the fact that like not everything is physical, right?
Mhm.
Like you're kind of working on different planes, you're working on different avenues, and there's like even like ideas vibrate the universe, right?
Mhm.
In some way, some form. Small, there's probably a lot of people thinking a lot of different things, but it goes into like, you know, kind of like a greater self in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like for the longest time I was kind of like naive to that. And I guess like, you know, when people are reading psychic readings or mediums and looking at ghosts in houses or whatever, I don't know if they're tapping into, you know, like what the future is of you is going to be, but they might be tapping into some type of extra consciousness that has already seen everything that's going to be happening. Right.
That's a good fair point. I thought, like, I've seen ghosts myself. I've experienced ghost interactions.
Mhm.
So it's like
Yeah.
it just comes down to timing, your mental stability, your
Sure.
mental state, your where you're at with your.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that'll be able to pierce that. I think a lot comes
Yeah.
down to experience of with life and death, and on top of like,
yeah.
or yourself like have gone through near death
But-
experience. It's
All
like,
It could
that
be
stuff you're
it
able
could
to
be
see.
time,
Also like
right?
chemically like balanced, like because I've seen the Mothman,
Yeah.
like you know what I mean, and I
yeah.
wasn't sober, you know what I mean,
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
so it's like I want to see like chemicals are like induce like some visions, or like visions are real, but
Mhm.
like I don't believe every time you're reading every time you're reading someone's problems 100% correct. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like,
Mhm. And you also are in touch with your third eye. You're able to use your third eye where it's not calcified through fluoride.
right.
So it's like being able to do that.
Mine
It's like
is
that's
very
that
calcified.
is a skill that most
Yeah.
people don't know about. That's why we talk about light and like you
No.
know. Like we talk about like some of those massive stones we've seen over in Europe or overseas where they move like it's
Yeah.
like 91
Which-
tons. Like how
Which
did this happen?
leads us to our question.
Well,
Oh,
I
no
do.
kidding.
I do have one more question for you. So, like, do you think that mediums, even if you haven't seen one, I guess today, or like psychics today, do you think they're fake ones and real ones? Kind of like Houdini. Houdini's like a fake magician, but do you think there could be people who are like real in that? People who are more
The
tapped
ones that
in?
don't advertise are the ones that are real. Like Alicia's
Yeah.
grandma.
Yeah.
Oh, she had a connection between life and death. She
Yeah.
like once like you know talking about like when you need something, all of a sudden God's able to put things together.
There it is.
Same
Yeah.
thing like that.
Sure.
She'd also talk
Yeah.
about like
Yeah.
using the whole egg trick where you put underneath the egg and stuff like that. Where it's designed to trap bad energy
Oh,
and
yep.
stuff. It's
Yep.
like
Sure.
all that stuff has some validity.
Yeah. No,
But
I
it's
think
like-
I
but
think like
she never-
energy transfer, information transfer, all
Mhm.
that stuff is coded. All that
Mhm.
stuff is like in it. Whenever we figure out quantum mechanics and computing, they'll probably crack the code on that.
Yeah.
And-
It's what's holding us back from being light, being
Well,
able to travel to
because
space
what is
and
the
come
biggest
back.
miracle right now?
Okay,
The Big
so-
Bang, right?
Supposedly,
Like,
yeah.
I'm just saying, yeah,
Yeah.
like the biggest
So
miracle
you-
right now is the Big
You
Bang.
do believe in mediums or psychic?
Is that what you're trying to drive towards?
Is that what
or-
you're poking
well,
at, or is that?
I don't know. I think a lot of like I think if you use
Oh,
to go
yeah.
Well,
to,
like obviously
daily
there
psychic
are some real
readings,
ones, and then the ones that are
$15,
advertising
I'll
are just
read your
doing it,
palm.
just
Yeah.
doing it for value. You know what I mean?
Or
Yeah.
the 5
But,
to
like-
minute.
Yeah.
Right. Like, so do you say there is fake ones and there are real ones?
Yeah, well, like what he said too, like kind of
Mhm.
the people who don't advertise it. But
Mhm.
I think all of us could be like that. I think there's like human potential in there for everybody where you can kind of tap into that extra conscious level.
Isn't that what
where it
like
is-
mushrooms and ayahuasca are for?
Yeah, but you don't need...
But those are temporary cross
Well,
the
just
boundary.
like
but
just to make you experience it. You know what I mean?
That's not
that could be the way of knocking on the door to see if you open it up. But then again, it's like, what are you going to find on the other side?
Some people go a different direction. Some people find that as paranoia. Some people don't. Whatever it is. Some people aren't ready for that.
That's fair.
Right?
Yeah,
and that might be...
That's a very fair point.
Reincarnation might be
if you
real.
feel
Who
that,
knows?
do you believe in like spirits or like ghosts? Like, are ghosts and spirits real?
So like
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
What is a ghost? A ghost is like a past premonition, right? It's like somebody who used to live here,
stuck
has
in a
so
loop.
much fear, and
whatever.
they've been there.
Yeah.
So like maybe time is happening all at one time, right?
Mhm.
Like I mean, maybe that our perception of time is that it like goes forward because we're stuck in a human body, but we're only getting that transfer of energy or that transfer of information at a certain rate, right? So like if time is like, and obviously you have different forms of time. You have like, your circular time, you have like your I don't know, linear time, your trans time is like when it goes like both, I don't know, binary
Stanley.
time, whatever. Yeah, you have like a bunch of different forms of how time would work.
But when you look at the multiverse, though, what was Stan Lee on to create that stuff?
I don't know.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
The multiverse makes sense from like if you're looking at everything all at once, everything has happened. So it's like we might only be processing it one way. There's probably a world where Trump got shot and there's a civil war in America right now, and we are not in that. Right?
So there is like
key
upside
moments.
down, like in Stranger Things.
It could be
where it's
something like that.
You go upside down and everything's opposite than it is up here.
Yeah, as above, so below. Like people have talked about that for ages. And that just means that
right in one of the all Father prayer. As above as below.
But all of that is happening simultaneously. So like we don't see it because we're not in that part.
Right.
But our maybe a different consciousness of ourselves is in that part right now.
And
so
relying to where you're talking about the chemicals, there could be something that's causing us to turn off, whether it be one of the multiple vaccines
linked
or
to that
something
alter ego or whatever.
And there's like a chance that
the out of body experience, you know what I mean? But your body's actually there. It's just a sub particle of your mind.
Right? Yeah. And I don't know how, like, this is the thing, right? Like, so I don't know how magic and science is going to end up colliding and what they're going to, like, end up finding together on, like, why out-of-body experiences are real and why, like, science is real and why, like, consciousness is real. But I can tell you right now with certainty that, like, we are so far off the mark. Like our mainstream science is so far off the mark. And then you have people, this is the other problem.
It's so anti-religion.
You have very, very smart people who are talking about like quantum mechanics, quantum entanglement, and like kind of how you can like observe one particle and then it will be simultaneous in a different spot, the negative to the positive. You have people talking about that. And there's no speed of light contradiction. There's no speed of light limitation. But since they're like almost so smart, they almost sound dumb when they come off, right? Like they almost they can't elaborate properly how that would actually look practically.
They can't dumb it down for me.
They can't dumb it down for me. I've watched this stuff forever and I'm like, you guys are like, you have to explain it like you're 5. If you can't do that,
the thingy doesn't go in the thingy.
Yes,
you know?
Yeah. If the square doesn't fit the circle, or the 2 doesn't equal 2 plus 4,
but the circle goes in the square, it's okay.
If 2 plus 2 doesn't equal 4, you have to let me know why. And like they haven't been able to like figure that out. And like when you go quantum level, you're going so far down into time, it's almost outside of our time. But it's still observable by whoever is observing it. Yeah. So you're like, okay, well, who is observing all of this?
Yeah. Because we may be talking 4D, but there's probably an entity that can look at 8D.
Yeah. It's like a different dimension.
Yeah. Right? Oh, yeah.
So you can get so far down the rabbit hole, but it's just like, I think we're going to have Breton on soon.
Yes.
So he's like a guy that we work with, but he does
This would be a great
downtown.
question for him, too.
He does stand-up. And he does
phenomenal artwork.
He does really good poetry on poetry nights at the Root Note. He does like open night.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to have him on. He does numerology. He studies a lot of Tesla's work.
He told me the other day. He told me the other day he really wants to be on. So
yeah,
because I was wearing like a B-tier beanie.
We're gonna try to find like.
He's like, oh, is that the pod? And I was like, oh yeah. He's like, I want to be on.
I told him you got to be on.
Mm-hmm.
But his path like crossed mine for some reason. But yeah, he's like pretty smart with all of this like quantum mechanics stuff, and he'll talk about like the degrees of numbers that he's always calculating, and he's definitely like a fun dude.
He makes me feel dumb. He's one of those guys.
He's very smart. He's like, it's crazy actually. I'm like, I don't even know, because I like know what he's talking about, but I have no idea how he's applying it. So I'm like, okay, like. And I try to help him with it. I think, it's like
for someone like that, like a savant like that, he may not be able to articulate how he's able to apply. He just sees the problem. This is a great thing.
So he was in. This is gonna be like the fun part, right? So and not to like, I'm not gonna say anything bad here. I don't think about him, but he used to be a 31st degree Mason in a Colorado branch.
Jesus.
So he knows a lot.
He knows a lot.
He knows a lot of people. He believes that like they meet in astral projection. They don't even meet in person anymore. So that's kind of interesting. But we'll see how that goes. I don't know. What's the question? So real quick.
How do you think the pyramids were actually built?
That's a good question.
That is a very good question. That is a good question for the gentleman you guys talking about.
That's a real good question. Levitation. I think we had some type of power source that we don't know that we currently don't have now. And I think that would be it.
Yeah, I have to follow along with those footsteps because it's like our ancestors that are able to create these large stones and build what they were able to achieve with supposedly pulleys and basic physical labor. I don't think we're tapped into. We're not being told the full truth. I think we had once upon a time. We had stargates to be able to jump back and forth.
Tad. I don't think we know the full truth. Like,
that's what I'm getting at. It's like we don't know it.
It's not that we're not being told. I just don't think they know. They just don't know.
Because it's tough to say because it's like my theory is like they burnt down. They will say they burnt down the Library of Alexandria, but it's like I think that got shuffled right into the Vatican to be able to hold that with suppress that information along with what they did with the Druids and stuff. I think there's a lot of stuff that they're holding behind because they may feel that we may not know it, but which I get it because it's like we've all watched Men in Black, and so it's like as a whole we just can't comprehend it because you're gonna have these different unique sects. But as the individual, we can comprehend it, but it's like you can't produce that information. So I feel like levitation is that opportunity there, and the people that once were able to be able to do this, either they said nope, they just left, or they became so immensely powerful they just started killing everybody.
Maybe
like they created their own Holocaust.
So you two are going this way, and I'm still sitting here thinking it's aliens because why haven't we been able to recreate one?
Yeah, I mean we could.
Yeah,
why don't
Bass Pro Shop?
That's not a real. That's not a real. That's not a real pyramid.
But Bass Pro bought that. They didn't build it.
I'm sorry, but I had.
Nashville.
It was pre-built. Yeah.
But like why can't we rebuild one now? Like, show me how long it takes now, and I'll tell you if it's been able to be done.
Yeah, like how many cranes do we need?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I think that would be like the big tell. Because there's a guy who like recreated Stonehenge in his backyard, but he claimed to use levitation techniques. Now I don't really believe it, but like apparently is limestone, so he made limestone. But if you give it like a certain hertz on like a loud enough sound woofer and sound speaker, you can apparently make it levitate.
So adding to that, remember when we had
adding to it or debunking it? Because I feel like that's like
so. Get this, so BS, like, they actually use hertz technology to actually break up the oil spilled during the mid 2000s when Event Horizon.
All the Dawn came out. And
that's what they
used to like clean all the ducts. I remember those commercials.
Well, but it's like
New Orleans.
But they came through and they released a frequency.
Our bad.
But they released a frequency to break all that down.
Those ducts.
So it's like that actually makes sense where they were able to pull that to happen because there's a specific hertz that'd be able to make that work.
Yeah, no, and you might be.
It's like 535 hertz, something like that.
I
It's
don't know what
outside
that I think.
Yeah.
And this might
It's
give
outside
credence to what I was just talking about
speakers.
with like, how there's like parameters on the universe. There might be a vibrational wavelength for certain different things, right?
Yeah.
Like if you believe in wave theory, well, you kind of bring in
Well, everything is way from gamma to EMFs to light frequency.
Yeah.
So it's like they're all speak in that frequency.
Our information,
where you get the
the
Fibonacci
information
scale.
that we get from our eyesight and like our 5 senses or 7 senses, whatever they're up to now, like
As far as I know, we're still up to 5, but there's probably a
ours
few
is
that
so
can.
delayed too. Like the heart knows when things happen before the brain does, right? It might be up to like 2 minutes, a minute. Like you're thinking like that far ahead.
Yeah.
So like the information that we can gather might just be so primitive that like the things that are actually happening around us might lead credence to, hey, levitation technology, hey, magic, hey, we got like another way to look at like how vibrations work and how hertz work and why like the tides work with like our moon, right? Like it's all correlated. It's like all very cohesive. And it doesn't make sense why it's so cohesive. And I think that's what science is going to end up finding.
Because we've spoken.
They're like,
it.
why is science so perfectly imperfect that it's like, why? How can it be so perfectly imperfect?
Well,
You know
because
what I
there's
mean?
still stuff that like we have the equation for, we just can't like solve it. You know what I mean? Like
Maybe.
say like earthquakes even. Like we have the algorithm that the earthquake's going to happen. We can't stop it.
And you said a key word there. So like, this is what I'm worried about with, not worried about. I shouldn't say worried about. I think AI is going to look at the pattern of earthquakes. They're going to be able to predict them. We're not going to react. That's just not what we do. We
Well, it's like how would we?
Sorry, I should say we are a reactive species. So we'll
We're
react
always
after the
late.
fact. We're not like
Proactive.
preemptive.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing. I think this is like a defense mechanism. I don't know.
Well, if
if
we're
we've-
proactive, we would stop using plastic, but we're not. We're reactive.
No, we have to be reactive though. I think like that's actually
Maybe that's
like,
why like
that's
why we don't know
allowed
how
us to
old
be
the
as far
Earth.
as we are.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, maybe that's why like the civilization that figured out how to move 91-ton bricks, they didn't have plastic. We have plastic, so
might be the problem. But we also have phones. We have microchips, and that's something that I think they tried to make, but they didn't know why, and they also didn't know how. If you look at like the Mesopotamian civilizations, like the early cradle stuff, like they were building towns in the shapes of like computer chips.
Oh yeah, I've seen those. I've
Inherently.
seen those.
It happened a lot in like the Mesoamerica places, so like Argentina or like the hidden spots and like the Amazon and stuff like that. They were building, like if you zoom out, it looks like a computer chip, but it's like a town.
Yeah,
right?
I've seen that over in Middle East too.
Yeah. So either that's hard coded, whatever it is. There's only a couple places in the world that make microchips now.
I can't remember the Explorer, but they were talking about when they came across one before the Christopher Columbus came back over. Like they came across, they see all these beautiful pyramids, all this infrastructure, but then they brought over the smallpox. When they came back years later, like all the stuff they wrote down, they described was no longer there because the smallpox killed everybody. And so it's like the stuff we're discovering now in the last 60 years is because it's like we killed all the people that were maintaining the infrastructure that they had, and it's like kind of set everything back.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And when you introduce
war
a
does
foreign
a lot.
virus to this area, it destroyed everything, dismantled everything.
Yeah. Kind of like to end on something, but I've been watching like a lot of World War I, World War II.
Oh, you're almost to your 30s, so it makes sense.
Yeah. No, I mean I should have been through a war by now, right?
Right.
No, so like World War I, like you wiped out an entire generation of like just men who would have been
France is
pretty
a prime
educated.
example.
Yeah. And they were like the most educated generation. Like if you look back at like how they were writing love letters to their loved ones and how they were like writing letters across the entire world, the vocab is like unmatched to what it would be today.
Yes.
Or even the writing style, like cursive in general.
Cursive,
Yeah, that's a very good
it would
point.
just be like big words and they were farm people, right? Like you don't even think of them as civilized, quote unquote, but you do. You should. And it's like that entire it was the greatest generation. It was like the one that was the one that was most well read on like all history. Completely wiped out in World War One.
Yeah.
Right. Like you're talking millions of bodies.
People didn't know how to fight then back then either.
Yeah. No, well, how can you expect? There's a tank that rolls up in your second fight. You're literally watching your best friend die across from you in a trench. And there's so many bodies you can't even get them out, and you can't bury them because you're in no man's land.
I'm using them as an extended like bulletproof vest now.
It's not
carrying
working.
them with me, like shooting.
It's not working.
Carrying them out.
No, and it's like, so imagine experiencing that trauma, right? And then 20 years later, you have the next generation of men, some civilians, die again. We wiped out so many people in World War I and World War II.
I think the body total is something like 500 million,
Oh,
something like that.
So much.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of.
It is so
people.
much.
And then you splash into Margaret Singer right around the same time. She figured out how to create a means to be able to eliminate kids, babies.
Yeah, I mean with the pill and stuff. Yeah. The pill hit the market,
she was able to scale abortion.
Yes, scaling. Yeah, something we talked about before.
Or if you change abortion to murder, all verbal, all words. It's like you switch out those words. Like, oh,
I feel like that all depends on like the situation.
I don't want to get.
But like,
that.
yeah, I think that's
These your podcast. Thank you so much.
Just good enough.
You guys are the best.
Uh-huh.
Thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, click that subscribe button, click that notification bell, and peace
Find us on
out.
Instagram, TikTok,
YouTube.